So you see, general public, the Met Police owe me millions. 27th of June 2019. I was falsely arrested 5 whole years and 17 days before that. When it was domestic violence, I was arrested with a fractured wrist, sprained ankle. I had a non-molestation order as well, and they decided to arrest me because my children's father put scratches on his neck while I was wearing acrylics. I was just taking pictures the day before with gigs on holiday, on a weekender. And they decided to award me £2,500 damages. What, for sexual assault? For sexually assaulting me. Sexually assaulting me. Physically assaulting me. Keeping me away from my children for 8 days in Maudsley. Waiting to hear from social services that I'm a good parent. That's what they do, people. Yes, I'm showing it all. Mind you, I was still on their payroll at the time. And the staff at Maudsley treated me disgustingly. They didn't recognize me, you see. I worked on different wards. And I had to go back onto that Maudsley ward, Jim Burley unit, let myself in with my badge and cuss them the fuck out. Yes, I did. I'm rude like that. Because I don't like abuse of power, you see. I don't like when people take the piss with people's rights, their human rights. You should be treated in a mental health hospital as if it's King's College, UCH, Homerton, North Middlesex. Any hospital you go to, you should be treated with care and careful consideration. You should be treated ethically. There's no way that you should be treated like crap by GPs, healthcare assistants, consultants should be lying on your name. No way in God's green earth. Anyway, the police paid me. I took my children on holiday. We went to Morocco, June 2019. And I was moved to this disgusting, dirty place on purpose by my gang stalking housing of 13 years, Southern Housing Group. What happens after this? I start reporting racism because my children, the neighbors lived right here, our kids went to the same school. And their children decided to come in my house, go in my daughter's drawer, take pictures of her diary, upload it to the Class 6 WhatsApp group. Not only that, they were calling her niggers, all sorts of things were going on. And when you report these things, you get targeted by the police. When? Mother's Day, Sunday the 22nd of March, 2020, isn't that the day before the pandemic? Isn't that the day before the pandemic? I believe it is. Oh, the police mentioned I gave a homeless lady £40. Where's the rest of my money then? Better yet, what did they do with the car? What did they do with my car, my Citroen C3? My 2019 Citroen C3 that I only had for 4 months. Police eventually stopped Sherelle, and when pulled her up, she was verbally and physically aggressive to officers and insulted them. Is that right? UCLH A&E. How do you know? Were you there? And I had a sprained knee chronically in 2 places, and this hospital lied. I was beating the crap out of in the cells. And they said it believed she was menstruating. They told the courts I was having a menstrual bleed. I was bleeding heavily because I was beaten the hell up. I was sat on whilst my hands were cuffed and my feet. And I was sat on for over 2 hours until I passed out. in police custody. They claim that they rang around for different beds, but they couldn't find a bed, so I was taken to police custody. That's a damn lie. I worked as a crisis worker with mental health. You take to A&E, Met Police, so you know this. Stop lying. She reported she was taking the children away from her neighbours, correct? Yeah. I gave a very jumbled version of events. Well, maybe because so many things happened. You expect someone to tell you in 2 seconds flat what the heck is going on? So much was happening at the time. Not to mention I was being drugged. They're trying to say I reported that my father had spiked my cannabis with cocaine. Why are you lying? You're taking my notes from different occasions and lying. She reported that she'd rather be under mental health than under the police. Correct? I didn't think mental health would abuse me in such a manner, but they do. It's funny how they go back to 2006. Oh, they're trying to say I was sectioned in 2014 with common assault against the partner. Huh? Is that what happened? How do you get paid $2,500 for a false arrest in 2014 and still continue reporting in 2020 that it was common assault against my partner? Is it so? They claim, again in 2015, in both contexts, substance misuse noted. Is it? What substance? A bit of weed? Oh, well, that's just too bad. Crime of the century. 2015. What happened in 2015? Was I falsely arrested again? I believe I was. Those notes are somewhere else. Was I not acquitted for self-defense after my children's father could be heard on the phone lines that he dispatched, stating he's not going to wait for the police, he's going to kill me instead? And rather than the police investigate properly, they arrest me, they abuse me, and the mental health team, my lovely workplace, come along and section me under Section 3 this time. That was supposed to be 6 months. How do you get on a Section 3 and you're home in just over a week? And they're not putting it on my notes properly. Oh, is this illegal? Oh, is this illegal? There was no evidence of fault interference or passivity. At times, Sherelle appeared irritable and aroused, but no evidence of anxiety or panic attacks. You would be a little bit irritable when you don't know where the hell your kids are. You don't know where your belongings are. You don't know where your property is. She avoided the subject when asked about drug use. If you go down my Instagram, people, you will see the notes about the sprained knee. And you will see that I was drug tested hours before at UCH hospital. So why are we still asking questions about drug use? They're so interested in drug use, but do they want to look at the fact that they were falsely, maliciously prescribing me? Dear. Dear, dear, dear. I mean, the procedural errors, the false reporting, is absolutely disgusting. Previously arrested and charged for physical violence and aggressive to ex-partners. What partners? 1. Was sexually abused at 8 and 15 years old and ran away from home. You see how they like to make you sound like you're an inbred? Oh, mother had regular mood swings and physically abused her as a child. So they know this here. But then other documents say something else. Was in a relationship with ex-partner. Oh, raped when 16. Why have they blocked that out? Happily said everything else. Father's a registered sex offender, but they failed to mention he was taken off the sex offenders register in 2017, 3 years before this. Has spent time being rehoused in a women's refuge and had support from Women's Aid Solace. They were supporting me at the time, supposedly. Long history of psychological and physical abuse from ex-partner, including during pregnancies. Why have you left out the sexual abuse? I can see how they're protecting their gang stalkers. Children currently in police custody. Possible substance use, cannabis and cocaine. You see how they say this and they don't even edit it and update it. I've had hair strand tests. April 2020, I had a hair strand test. They had to shave 200 hairs out of my head. No cocaine whatsoever. Yes, they found a bit of marijuana. Traces. Wasn't even high use. Wasn't even medium. Low use. That doesn't sound like a drug problem to me. Where's the bit I'm really looking for? Raise volumes at times, other times whispering. Because I'm autistic, you dimwits. Never heard of autism. Where is it? Where's the part that discusses the police breaking the law? Risk assessment, risk to self, risk of chaotic behaviour and misadventure. High suspicion of substance misuse. You lot are damn fucking liars. 2 others, verbally hostile and aggressive. When you're not professional and you're damn fucking rude. Previous arrest for physical abuse. How can you say what the previous arrests are and not say the outcome of the previous arrests? Was it a false arrest? An arrest is just an investigation, is it not? For physical abuse and assault. I've been acquitted for self-defense on a number of occasions. That means I didn't start, I finished. That means I defended myself when attacked. Risk of harm to minors. Oh, really? Really? Risk of harm to minors, they say. It's funny how they don't mention my educational background. This is 2019, by the way. Oh, wrong one. Where is it? Ah! Croydon Council, gov.uk. This is to certify that Sherelle Jordan, when? Less than a year before, 11 months prior to this, successfully completed the course entitled, what? Safeguarding Children. So I have to know what is meant by safeguarding and child protection. The definition of child protection and child abuse. Understand the concept of significant harm. The key principles of child protection. Know what to do if child abuse is suspected. Know who abuses children. The definition of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse and neglect. Know the causes of abuse. How to recognize signs of abuse from the victim and perpetrator. Know the effects of abuse on children. How to and how not to respond to concern that a child is at risk of harm. Know what information to record. Oh, am I very good at recording information? Do I make proper disclosures? Know what to do if you have a concern. How to respond to a disclosure. Is that not me? Oh, it is. Is that not my name? Sherelle Jordan. Wow, yes, it is. And this is when? 2019. But have I not been working with children since 2002? Have I not been doing childcare courses since 2002? How many years is that? Can we count, people? 21 years now. I don't think the government is in any position to be talking about safeguarding children right now. Where is it? There's a section here where it basically says the police lied their asses off. Shamira is 12, is she? She wasn't 12 at the time, no. Jessica Furlow, social worker. I'm glad you put her name. Children currently in police custody. Why? Oh, Afro-Caribbean lady, dishevelled hair. Why was my hair dishevelled? Wearing t-shirt inside out. Reasonably kempt, hostile and irritable on occasion. Good eye contact. That doesn't sound like mental health to me. Sounds like I was beaten the shit out of. My knee was chronically sprained in 2 places. To the point where I had to rip my own hair out. The pain was so fucking bad. Police refused to get me medical assistance. Until they could see my knee ballooning and could see that after 5 hours of screaming, there's no way I could have been pretending, as they kept calling it. Police officers will remain with Sherelle in the event she is discharged and reviewed and take her back to police custody. But that's not what they told me at the time. They said, don't worry, you're going to go back with officers just to get your belongings. There is no evidence of acute mental health crisis. And they believe it's in keeping with emotionally unstable personality traits, exacerbated by possible substance misuse. They need to stop talking about possibilities, and they need to be damn sure when they're recording things on people's historics. Because they are liars. You guys are so upset with just the police. You need to be upset with every department, even the school board, the education, Department of Education, Department of Health and Social Care, Ministry of Justice, CAFCAS, the family courts, the judicial. Every department in this entire country needs to be investigated and placed under serious investigation. At one point, Sherelle reported that she was molested when she was a child. And we did not talk about none of this. And they're saying, and her mother left her for long periods of time, and this was her reason for driving dangerously. Sherelle doesn't ever chat shit. Ever. Not even when I'm fearful. Not even when I'm being terrorized and harassed. The way they lie and lie and lie. My memory goes back to 6 months old. 1986. There's no way on God's green earth I don't remember March 2020. Now, yes, they were drugging me maliciously, switching my medication back and forth and playing games. Right up until 2021, would you believe? All the way from 2008, first diagnosis, false diagnosis, all the way to 2021. Is that why I've got tumours on my body now? Is that why I have bone issues and rheumatoid? Is that why I have organ failure? And why I've been shitting and having severe diarrhea for the past 3-4 days. But realistically, I've been having severe diarrhea for around over a year now. They are liars. Now, where's the bit I'm looking for? She gave very muddled and confused accounts and constantly changed her story. No, they ask you a bag of questions. Anyone who's been in mental health knows how they move. And before you even finish answering one question, they ask you something else. And then something else. And then something else. And so you appear confused, but really you're not confused at all. They just don't let you finish speaking. Is this why I started to get irritable? Sherelle was relatively calm during this interview. So how am I calm 1 second and then they say I'm irritable the next? Maybe because the different people they have you speaking with are rude as hell and unprofessional. She explained that she'd been brought into 136 because she was escaping her neighbours. That's not what I said. she began to talk about her belongings and anger towards the police. Why would I have anger towards the police? And what belongings? Oh, the car they vandalized. The car they vandalized, those belongings, possibly the phone they smashed, the money they stole, my other daughter's phone that I've never had retrieved, all my certificates that Dr. Castle claims I never left school with GCSEs, but yet here's a national record of achievement. The GCSEs were right here that they ripped out during the arrest. What? You mean I'm a bit pissed that all I've got left is pieces of printouts? And I'm extremely pissed off that the police forged one of my certificates. With the wrong award, by the way. They said, this is my media studies. Is it? How can it be? This is my media studies. How can it be an AQA science? It's supposed to say science, is it not? It definitely is. I'm being sarcastic because I'm really pissed off, actually. The violation is just absolutely disgusting from these disgusting, dirty devils. Where's the AQA that I printed out? It's funny that that can't be seen here now, all of a sudden. One thing about me, I don't lose a thing. I don't lose anything. It has to get stolen. Might misplace something in my house, but lose? Oh, definitely not. Why, officers? You wouldn't happen to be stealing images of the certificates that's all over every social media right now, would you? That's been sent to Snaresbrook Crown Court, would you? Because there should be a copy of the real one. Anyway, the real one had a hologram right here. Shiny silver hologram, as certificates do. And the J is completely forged. This ain't the real one. Even the printing that's rubbed off on the back. Naughty, naughty. This little cheap-ass paper. No. That's enough of today's forensic science. Here it is. Complicated situation. Oh, stop blurring. Come out of my device, officers. So I was seen in urgent treatment centre with PLN Brian Mohes. That's it. That's the name I was looking for. Complicated situation. Yesterday, between the hours of 1700 and 1800 hours, CJ was picked up by police officers for driving recklessly. That is a damn lie. You said you 163'd me. Couldn't even understand to get the terminology right. It's 136, not 163, officers. Go and learn your book. Police officers PC Williamson and Aspie placed patient on section 136 confirmed by Islington police sergeants and constables and called crisis single point of access requesting a place of safety. What? You mean to tell me A&E isn't a place of safety? Unable to find a place of safety, so officers took CJ to my Islington police station. Mine? I don't fucking work for police. Officers did not hand over. It's all good blurring, but you know damn well I can always print this out and post it on the page. It's not a problem. Anyway, they don't want to work. Officers did not hand over to the police station that they detained me on a 136. Officers were not aware, so they arrested me for dangerous driving, failure to stop, child endangerment, and assault to a police officer. She was placed in a police cell. I wasn't booked in, my property wasn't booked in, and I was tied up with zip ties, first of all. You know the zip locks that you will find around your brand new items or leads? That's what they placed around my arms and my feet. Whilst in police custody, CJ reported that she was having a miscarriage. Sure did. You know why as well? If you haven't booked in a person that you're detaining, officers, how do you know if that person is pregnant or not? If they have cancer or not? If they have brittle bones? If they have MS? You don't know anything about a person when you're detaining them and manhandling them, male or female. Disgusting pigs. And yes, I did believe I was pregnant and having a miscarriage. Luckily for you, I wasn't. But I was bleeding profusely. So what does that say? Excessive force beyond reasonable. Police transferred CJ to UCLH for an assessment. No, because they chronically sprained my knee in 2 places. And funny enough, nowhere does it say knee sprain like it does in the hospital records. Oh dear. That's enough for today, people. Afua, you should never fucking speak on my name. What you need to do is speak on your name. You're making yourself quite a target around here these days. And Afua, you just live up the road, Enfield. You don't want to bump into me on a dark night in Edmonton. Would have a long conversation. I don't like having to talk to my elders like my children, but you need a dressing down, young lady. Killer Pussy, Patrick Knight, Talk We Mind podcast. You need to be quiet and talk about your mental health and your drug addictions and your cocaine habits. You clearly have one. Who else? Miss True World, in a world of her own, Serena Hoyt. Go and find some money to replace my phone. Go and find some money to upgrade your flooring. I mean, pound shop stick-on tiles is not the one, darling. I could recommend you an amazing floor. You can get these quite expensive tiles, lovely floor tiles from UK Floor Direct. Great. No one speak on my name ever again in a negative light. I will bust your face and happily close the cell door. Do you understand? I would never speak on anyone's name when I wasn't present. I wasn't there. I only ever speak on what I know for fact. You lot and your fiction, you police informants, piss off. Piss right off along with your officers.